There should be a conversation before anything physical happens where the flyer, base and spotter all discuss what is being attempted. If you are unsure about what they're attempting or what is being asked of you, do not hesitate to ask further questions until you're confident about what you're being asked to do. You should be looking at the flyer but not focusing on any one specific point. You should be in a position where you're close enough to be able to make contact or grab the flyer, but far enough away that you can see the bigger picture. At the very most fundamental level, your job is to stop the flyer hitting the floor. Correctional spot, safety spot, your basic task is to stop them from hitting the floor. The next level from that is that when they land, your job is to soften their landing. If you're correctional spotting, there's a third level that is assisting the flyer or the base through the movement they're struggling with. If you're safety spotting though, you literally only have two jobs. You either stop them hitting the floor or you soften their landing. 99% of the time, you are going to want to be in contact with the flyer's hips. Now, I've heard people say, don't hold or spot the hips because it's the heaviest part of the body. That's sort of exactly the reason why you should grab or make contact with the hips. If somebody is falling and I grab their arm is going to be super safe, but the rest of their body is kind of free-falling independently of where I'm holding them. If you're correctional spotting, you're going to be able to help the most by helping them control their hips' position in space. The heaviest part of the body is going to be the hardest for them to move, so help them. By grabbing or manipulating the hips, you are able to very easily control the balance and position of their entire body. What do we do if we're not as big as him and we can't just hold her off the floor like that? You sit down and you get someone who is strong enough. If you can't hold a person off the ground, 90% of the time you shouldn't be spotting that person. A major part of correctional spotting is helping to keep the flyer on balance. You can either hold them on balance or you can help to put them back on balance. What it shouldn't be is holding them in a position where they are off balance. If a flyer has fallen, don't just hold them there, actively work to put them back in a position where they are on balance. A key skill as a spotter is being able to know when someone is on or off balance. Balance has an edge. I have all of this range where I'm on balance. If I go past that edge, I fall. When you are correctional spotting, you want to be working on the fringes of that edge. If you spot them too soon, you don't give them the opportunity to fight. If you spot them too late, then they fall over. In the beginning, err on the side of caution, because too soon is going to be better than too late. For the flyer, if something goes wrong, you want to maintain body tension. There is going to be nothing worse than trying to catch a flailing mass of limbs. By staying tight, you make yourself much, much easier to catch. Now, tight doesn't necessarily mean straight. Whatever shape you're falling in, just make it a tight one. Self-spotting is the pure, undiluted crack cocaine of being a base. As a base, an intrinsic part of my role is to keep the flyer off the floor. You can look at any partner acrobatic skill, and at its most fundamental level, all I'm doing is keeping the flyer off of the floor. When you do any pairs skill or any trio skill, there is an unwritten contract that you are in charge of the flyer's safety, and that their safety and well-being comes first. It doesn't matter who made the mistake that caused the fall. If you fail to stop the flyer hitting the floor, you have failed at performing your basic role. However they fall, whichever way they fall, it's your job to put part of your body in between them and the floor. If it does go south, it is mostly your responsibility to decide when to dump things. You should always try as much as possible to put people towards the spotter or towards the crash mat.